What's up, good people? It's your boy Scott Lewis, Apartment Gaming and More, Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. I'm here with John. John, what's up, John?
Happy holidays, Scott. To anybody that had to shovel snow today, hope you enjoyed the rest. Because now you got Brooklyn basketball to look forward to.
Yeah, we got New Year's coming, and it's still holiday. I got my little hat on. I'm bugging.
I know. Great holiday hat. Great holiday.
Like I've been drinking some eggnog or something.
Woo! Hey, we need that with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah,
We need
so
that. Drink that every day now.
well today the Nets play the Timberwolves. Um It's going to be an interesting game. I don't know if Ant Man is playing. He's in the lineup. Let me look into the lineup. What you think? The starting lineup going to be for the Nets today?
I think it's going to be the usual Yegor, Mann, MPJ, Clowney, Claxton. It's ironic. The
Yeah,
Nets season started turning around when we faced Minnesota and when they put Noah Clowney in the starting lineup. So now you really see after all these wins that we're debating if they're legitimate or not. We'll see tonight if the Nets do pull off a win, if this is something legitimate Jordy's building. And if not, well, it shows you that you still have a young future. Just there's some moves that have to be made soon. But I think tonight you're definitely going to see a battle out there for sure from the Nets because they are playing with more defensive intensity. But I think it's definitely a matchup of the front courts. Timberwolves have a big front court. They got a lot of bigs on that team. Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, and then you have Ant
yeah,
Man of all people, Jaden McDaniels. Like they have a lot of big bodies to throw the Nets way.
yeah,
So Clowney's defense tonight, you're going to see if he could get any block shots, if he can impose his will defensively, and then MPJ obviously is going to go off offensively, and then Claxton. I keep saying this to people, like as much as Claxton's had a career season so far, again, can he actually match up against the best bigs in the NBA,
we're
like a
gonna
Rudy
find out
Gobert
today,
or
though.
Nazi? That to me is going to tell me if this is actually legitimate what he's doing, or still as good as he is, he's
Yeah,
still got the same weaknesses.
yeah, yeah. It's a good opportunity to see where he at.
Mhm.
Nas Reed and them is no joke. Trust me. Minnesota's starting lineup is Ant Man is in the starting lineup.
Okay.
It should be Ant Man, Jaden McDonald's, Dante, Julius, and Rudy. Oh man!
What about us?
And for us, it's they put Cam Thomas as the starting lineup.
Wow. Really?
I'm
I,
surprised.
I
I
I
am
don't know if
really
that's
surprised.
legit. I
Michael
don't know if
Porter
that's legit.
Jr., Cam Thomas, Igor, Noah Clowney, and Nick Claxton. I think this will be the first time he played with Igor.
Possibly, but I got to see what the lineup is on X in a few minutes if that's legit. I wouldn't do it if I were the Nets just because he's coming off another hamstring
Me
injury
too.
and we just had a small conversation, 10 to
Yeah, I
15
don't like the
minutes.
idea of messing up the flow that they got going on with the young guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
As much as as I have some question marks about this current group's longevity together as a group, I will give Jordy the credit that defensively we've been a lot better
yeah,
without Cam in the starting lineup. And for Cam's future, I think everybody sees it. I think Sean and Joe saw it a long time ago, hence why they treated Cam as they have. He right now has to figure out how to be an adaptive bench piece, maybe a sixth man or a seventh man scoring guard on a team. If you're going to pair, let's say, Saraf, Nolan, or whoever is in a sixth man on this team right now next to Cam as a scorer. I think right now with Cam, he is a solid basketball on the defensive end. At least with the current starting five, the defensively, every guy 1 through 5 has shown you some type of defense. So I don't think Jordy would want to break that up. Now with Cam coming off the bench, you could put defensive pieces around him like Zaire, Dayron, and Wolf. That combination, the bigs together, has kind of worked out. So you have a front court that gives Cam a little protection on defense and rebounding. So
right. Yeah, I'm surprised he's starting. They got him starting. I really am.
I think for if as long as Cam's here for right now, try to that.
Well, the last two meetings this year, Timberwolves a 125 to 109 win, and the second game was 117 to 91. Timberwolves. So they haven't fared well against the Timberwolves at all. At all. So, oh man, this is crazy. I didn't see that coming. Cam Thomas in the starting lineup. At least that's what the NBA starting lineup says. The trade deadline is, I mean, the trade activity going on is still talking about getting rid of Cam. And of course, Michael Porter Jr. is still being shopped around a little bit. Um, I don't think that the Nets are actually shopping them, but they are taking phone calls, of course, because of their cap space. It would make it good for a lot of teams to jump in. Um, let's see. I want to take a look at the. Okay, I got it. Let's take a look at the NBA standings as of today. And we'll remove this. Today I got my little hat on, of course. Let's take a look at the standings. NBA standings. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the standings today. Today's games. Let's take a look at today's games. Actually, today the Kings beat the Mavericks 113 to 107. The Phoenix Suns and the Pelicans are just underway. The Nuggets and and Magic is just underway. Cavs play the Rockets. Knicks play the Hawks. Bucks play the Bulls. Jazz play the Spurs tonight at 8. And the Nets play the Timberwolves. Pacers play the Heat. We have an active NBA game scheduled today. Let's look at the standings. The Nets are 9-19. I think that makes them in the sixth spot in the draft the draft order. That will take them out of the top 5 if today was being drafted. The Wizards are 6-23 and the Pacers are 6-25. Now the Nets have a 6-game deficit compared to the Pacers, or I should say the Pacers are 6 games more in the loss column. Going west, it should be a little tighter with the Clippers. I think the Clippers won their last 3 games, which a lot of people was concerned about OKC and their dominance in the draft pick. With the Clippers at 9-21, that draft pick is starting to look a little bit worse than what they was hoping. Maybe in the top 14, but not the top 5. The Pelicans, I can see the Clippers moving up or moving even past the Jazz. I don't know if they can move past the Mavericks, but it's possible. They've been playing well, so. Pelicans are 8-24. They lost 2 in a row. And the Kings today they should have won. Well, they 7-23. That should be a win. I wonder if that is 8-21 now. The standards are not up to date. They won today against Dallas. Okay. Well, either way, the game today is played. Let's play that. The game today is being played. games. Brooklyn is at Minnesota. So today should be an interesting game. Ant-Man was probably a scratch, but apparently he's going to play today. Also, in the news, the people are making a lot of assumptions that Michael Porter Jr. is on the block, and I get it. I think he would be on the block, being that his value right now is pretty high for teams that are making a run for the playoffs. I don't think that Sean is actually shopping him around, but probably taking just phone calls. And if he hears what he hears that he feels he can't refuse, then, he would take it. I myself would not take just one number one pick. I think that he's worth more than that. But we can see as the weeks go on how's his gameplay, and this is going to be interesting to see Cam Thomas playing with Michael Porter Jr. And a lot of people say that them two can't play together, but I personally think they can. I think they can. It's important that, you know, it would be nice to see Cam Thomas have, if he doesn't be with this team, to at least have a decent way out. So we'll see. You know, it depends. But, John is back. What's up, John?
Hey, Scott, I had to refresh the page. You went out there for a bit, so
Oh,
thought I'd
okay.
refresh it back.
Yeah, so, yeah, John. So, do you think Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas can play together?
I think in the beginning you saw that they're both scorers. It's just can they actually fit together? We didn't see that. It was really Cam being ball dominant, MPJ getting his shots off when he can. The rookies weren't really connecting. Like, nobody's really connecting because Cam likes to score, and I get it. You can't take that away from his natural instincts, but to play team basketball, you got to be able to facilitate and find players for open shots. It worked a
Yeah,
little bit last year with Jordy, but this year in particular, this was Cam's big year to earn some type of contract and taking the qualifying offer. It was kind of like he had to be healthy if he's going to hope to get any type of contract. And I kept saying November was supposed to be his month. He played one game and was out the whole month. So, yeah, now coming back into this, he has to do what's in the best interest of the team, which is to adapt and be a bench piece possibly, maybe a six man. But we have to see his body language on the court, how he's playing with the bench to see if he can adjust to that role. But if he scores, let's say, 20, 25 points the next 2 or 3 games, people will be saying, oh, start Cam Thomas, put him back into the fold. But it's like still, Cam's big weaknesses really hurt him being a quality starter as far as a scoring guard goes. But you have to be able to show some type of defensive resistance on the court. And it's very hard for Cam Thomas, especially with the durability issues. So being a six man, I think it's much easier to cover up the weaknesses on defense
do you
because
think
we have
Cam would
bigger
take
players we
less
can put off the
money?
bench with him.
Do you think if Cam decided
I,
to take less money, that the Nets were willing to keep him?
I
Because
think
they,
the Nets are
I mean, they
open to.
can't get nothing for him if that's the case.
I think we have to see where February 5th lies with his future. If he is somehow
Yeah,
on this team past February 5th, maybe Sean Marks talks to Cam's agent and says, listen, it looks very unlikely that your guy's going to get a lot of money. We drafted him. I think we still have some type of belief in him, but we have a price. And if Cam doesn't want to sign to this price, he either has to take a random shot this summer with 10 teams, he's hoping that they'll sign him. And if not, some people say this guy might be out the league, which it's a little asinine because he is a gifted scorer. But this is where Cam has to really start playing a strategic game, not just on the court but off it. But
yeah,
everything that I'm hearing, it feels like Sean and Joe are fine not re-signing Cam Thomas, fine moving off
yeah,
of Cam. But if they seriously don't trade him for anything, they just let him straight up walk. You better hope nobody picks him up because if a top team does pick him up and he adjusts to a six-man role, Sean and Joe look foolish because you didn't even sign him to a short term deal to get anything back for him. He signed a qualifying offer and still you got nothing
yeah,
back for him. So it almost again it's like egg on their face. But regardless, I
yeah,
just think the damage has been done on both sides, and a
yeah,
divorce feels better for both sides. Now, if Cam wants to try to get up his value as a six man right now, it does benefit the front office to at least see if he can adjust to that role. Now, can he? We got to see how many games he plays between now and February 5th. And with his injury issues, you should probably limit the minutes to 10 to 15, even if he scores 15 to 20 points in those minutes. We got to think long term here with what is his true value on the
Yeah,
market at this point, which
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
good.
I don't like the idea that you are trying that Jordy would try to give him 30 minutes a day like he gave Michael Porter Jr. I don't even like the
Right.
idea of him giving Michael Porter Jr. 30 minutes, to be honest. But because we are trying to rebuild this team, so and we got to pick, and this draft, you want to kind of like get lower than 8. It would be nice to get like 4 or 3. I
Right.
would take either one of
Right.
those.
That,
But
that is the mission.
what I'm saying is, and I ain't crazy. I always said, oh, it's about culture and about winning. It's also about being strategic about how you do it. So I get it. The talent at the top is what you want to shoot for right now. I get that. So what I'm
Right.
saying is, when we do get that talent, is that we need to surround them with some outstanding people. I feel like Michael Porter Jr. is a good example. He been good with the rookies. I don't know if Cam Thomas can be that. So we don't know that yet. I
Right.
mean, I haven't seen it, so I can understand why some people say he's expendable. But it's
Yeah.
hard to
It's
get rid of 20-point scorers. It really is. It's really
it,
hard to sit there and go, this guy can average about 24, 25. We don't need him. That's that's hard in the NBA, man. No, that's not
it,
easy to do.
it,
That's
it
not
definitely
easy to
definitely
do.
it definitely is tough to let any type of scorer go. I just think with what they did this past summer, drafting 5 guys, drafting guys who do things Cam can't do, playmaking, height, defense, athleticism, like it just felt like it was a straight shot to Cam saying, "Listen, Cam, we like you. We just are looking at the future, and maybe you're a part, maybe you're not, but you're gonna have to kind of accept what we give you." And Cam didn't even rebuttal. He was free agent. I think they heard 2 offers and like, "Okay, I'm done." There's no point of me even trying to give an actual offer that I want because I already knew they were going to do this to me. So just yeah, if they're trying to get Cam's value from 1 second to 2 seconds, play him the next 5-10 games. See if a team really does pick up the phone because we're in trade deadline mode. Anybody in this team can be traded any day,
Yeah,
any minute
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So
That
if the
that's
teams
true with
have to
any
see five to
team.
ten
Yeah,
games, so if they
yeah.
have to see 5 to 10 games what he can do off the bench, go for that and see if you get a phone call.
So
But I
when's
just
the
think right
when's the actual trade deadline?
February 5th at 3 p.m. sharp. February 5th, 3. And we actually play that day. So if the Nets are going to make any moves, you'd probably expect them to make the moves the day before. Because if you make them the day of, we're going to be very short on people. And then that's probably going to be a landslide loss for us, which benefits our pick. But still, you have to make sure you know if who you're sending off on the day of, and that you have people to at least play those minutes. So it's not just a full-on slaughter for some of these guys who probably be shocked that they're losing chemistry buddies of theirs. But this is what the business part of it is. We got to figure out who the next Brooklyn Nets are. And I think right now there is a lot of pieces that could be moved from this team. Now MPJ, we've been back and forth on this. You've heard me say it, Scott. I do see a possibility keeping MPJ, but that's only if there is a star out there that might want to team up with him, or this Nets rest MPJ and fix their lottery odds. Let's remember this. Con Knipple, who's been a breakout rookie, he had a bad ankle twist the other day, and now he's likely going to be out for a few weeks. The Hornets are literally a half a game ahead of us in the lottery standings. If they start losing now, we're going to be in the seventh odds. And most likely, as long as Con Knipple's out, the Hornets are just going to slide down.
But the
So the
Hornets
Nets
shouldn't
really
even
have
be
to get
losing.
smart.
To be honest with you, they should be able to afford the loss of a player. Really do, because they got top picks on a team already. Why are they still
Lonzo Ball
losing?
ain't working out. He's like Lonzo Ball's likely going to get moved soon. His ankles are cooked, and then Brandon
What's up with Brandon? I mean, I don't understand that. How he's not,
Miller, kid is 12.
yeah.
I just think for right now, the Nets got to start playing smart because a lot of teams are going to start losing. The Bucks, they're on a landslide, and if Giannis asks out this month, they're likely going to fall down. And then the Hawks, ever since Trey Young came back, this is kind of like our situation with Cam. You know what's crazy, Scott? Without Trey Young, the Hawks were the second best defense in the NBA. Now we're somewhat the first defense in the NBA, but now you bring Cam, who's similar to Trey Young in weaknesses. That could have a negative effect on us, which kind of benefits us. But for the Hawks in particular, they're starting to landslide a bit. So yeah, a lot of teams very soon are gonna start tanking with us. The only saving grace right now is the Clippers are starting to win somehow, barely, but they're starting to win. And then you got Kings and Pelicans getting wins here or there. So for the Nets, they can still salvage this, but you got to move some pieces of this current puzzle, or else if you keep this puzzle, you're going to win against bad teams and feel good for 5 minutes, but you're going to feel bad for the next 5 years if you do not get one of these top franchise potential prospects in this upcoming draft. The Nets
Right.
really got to make some decisions soon. I hope the right decisions that make sense. If keeping MPJ makes sense, rest him the rest of the way. He already did more than enough to earn his All-Star nod, to have his trade value be at a high spot. Don't risk it playing him towards the middle end of the season when already we're trying to now save our lottery pick. Like that's when you can start resting vets. So I see that. But if there's teams that want MPJ, start the bidding war. See who throws offers, and we kind of know a few teams. It's just Sean Marks has to show us, like you've been saying, can he seriously negotiate fair deals without always having to say, I need 5, 6 picks to get off of these guys. Sean Marks needs to be flexible this deadline because you already have a lot of picks. This is now about building around the future you just drafted this summer in the 5 rookies. Like what pieces kind of fit with their trajectory and what pieces can you use to get other assets to actually go after the real winning pieces for these young guys. That's kind of what Sean needs to start doing, not just sit on the chair and wait for a team to call him and offer him something, and he's like, that's not good enough for me. He's
Right.
got to be flexible to coming deadline and show us that he's thinking about the future as opposed to just this present, which I
Yeah.
don't even know if it's legit right now what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. I don't. I have no clue what they're doing either. I don't, because really, technically, if you really wanted to rebuild and start again, you have a piece that a lot of teams want with Michael Porter Jr. You should be.
Exactly.
I totally. Like I said, I don't think Sean just. I don't know. I just don't know. You
You
could
know what's
easily
scary
get two
about
number ones. I
You know
think.
what's scary about this past year and this year? We're doing things that no tanking team I think has ever done the last 5 to 10 years. We had the best defense last February. Now we have the best defense in December. Like no tanking team has ever had the best defense and an atrocious offense like we're doing right now. It's just mind boggling to me, Scott, because we're doing a lot of the opposites of what a tank team
But
does.
do
And I
you
get it. You
think?
want to
But I hear people
like
say all the time, like, this roster is bad, but is this team better than what people say they are?
Largely so because MPJ is the main focal point and he has experience and he's just a good player. But now Jordy's created a system when Sean Marks tried to take away a lot of that system this past summer with the point guard disparity. But still, this just shows how good Jordy is as a coach because
So mate,
he's
it's
figuring out
Jordy.
these things.
So it's
Eh,
Jordy. Well, I
it's
mean,
Jordy and MPJ. It's really the both of them because Jordy's running the system through MPJ. Without both those guys, we probably would be a bottom four team right now. And this is where I made this huge point yesterday on Breezy Show. Is MPJ going to be around Brooklyn the next 5 to 10 years, as opposed to a guy you draft this year who could legitimately be on Brooklyn the next 5 to 10 years? You got to remember this with MPJ. The fact he's wearing a brace on his leg that's used for stroke victims that have mobility issues. He
right.
has legit nerve damage in his back to his legs, and what he's doing right now, even Saint said it's a miracle. I give MPJ all the respect in the world for persevering like he has to win a title like he has dealing with these type of injuries. But
Right.
it also makes you go, damn. If we don't trade him and keep him, and let's say next 2 to 3 years when we're actually ready to compete, the body starts breaking down. His numbers as a third option are kind of like what a Cam Johnson gives you, and it's like, damn, did we really botch the chance to get some good assets when his value was at the highest it could ever be? Like, if he's 28 years old, if this guy was 24 years old, Scott, I'd have a
Yeah.
different outlook on it. I'd be like, it's smart to sign him to a short-term extension and see if he could be a second option. But right now, it's really a
Yeah.
clock with MPJ if the Nets are going to try to win the next 2 to 3 years. But if you don't get a big fish or you botch this draft, You're going to have to forcibly pay this guy, and his body might break down at any moment. And given our injury history, is it worth gambling that over securing a lottery pick? I ask
Yeah.
every Brooklyn Nets fan right now, and I've gotten a lot of mixed results. Some want
Yeah.
to live in the present, others smartly want to think about the future. Sean
Yeah.
Marks has to think about the future instead of these short-term gains, which for the last 10 years have gotten us nowhere. You traded James Harden for a fisherman that nearly destroyed the team. Like, you have a
Yeah.
chance now to actually have a future. Be smart
A fisherman.
with this deadline for once. Don't just think about the short
Yeah.
term. Don't. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's a first in NBA history. No superstar. I can look back at all the lists. No
Went to a professional fisher. Fisher.
superstar ever got traded for a guy that became a fisherman.
Oh man, that's crazy. That
Yeah.
is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes waiting too much too late can be a bad thing. Yeah, Sean,
Right.
I understand. I understand. I like MPJ. I get it. The coal is there's a saying when the coal strike when the coal is hot. Right now,
Right.
homeboy is hot, and there's teams that might want him. I get
Right.
it. I'll probably be thinking the same way. Yo, listen, if somebody give me two number ones, I'm jumping on it. I'm not even thinking twice about it. But
Right. And even Tim Lager said on Bill Simmons' podcast that MPJ's trade value has really transformed around the league, where people knew this guy was a good option, but they didn't want to touch him because of the money. Realistically, he should not be making $38 to $40 million as a third option player. But now it's like, damn, he's only making money one more year. If he's playing like a top 10 player, why wouldn't I consider taking his 1 year on if I think I could beat a team like OKC or a team like Detroit or the Knicks? Like, if you're a
yeah,
team out there that thinks that, even Detroit thinks that they could beat both the Knicks and OKC, why wouldn't you take the leap? Because he's only on contract for one more year. And teams like Pistons, even Spurs, have the contracts to get MPJ without sacrificing the main core of their assets. And they have all the picks in the world to offer us. So a Pistons or Spurs team would be an ideal outcome. Now, teams like Clippers and Bucks, those are two teams with aging bad rosters that have to make decisions on where they're going. Now with
yeah,
the Bucks, Giannis likely wants out, but if they are that bad on wanting to keep him for at least a few more months, they have their Bucks 2031st. They have a 2032 swap. If you give me Portis and Kuzma and not those two picks, I got to consider that, because the Bucks are not going to be a championship team the next 5 to 6 years with Giannis off that team somewhere else. So that's a gamble that the Nets could take. Maybe not from a player's perspective, but from a
yeah,
picks perspective. Same with the Clippers. They have valuable picks. Clippers picks are gold in the NBA. The Collins and Bogdanovich contracts, that's free cap space, but that pick could be valuable down the line. Those are the two teams where the picks value is higher than the players. The Pistons and Spurs, the players' values could be decent, and the picks may not be as great, but it adds more to what you have in your asset collection. So it'll be interesting to see if a team does make a real offer, and the Nets should consider it because you have a future with some of your rookies. But is MPJ a long-term part of that, or is he not? I think it could be a bit of both at this point.
I'm wondering if other teams are thinking that MPJ might not. Basically he's like a hired gun. That's it at this point.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
figure that he only can give you 1 or 2 years. You can't look at anything long term because of his injuries, and he's not injured now though. So I understand that he has a back injury and it can flare up. I get it. This is interesting. This is interesting. It's interesting to see what teams are going to do. Oh, John,
It's
John, I don't know. Sean can pull it off, man.
I think if you don't trade MPJ, you got to limit his minutes because you got to protect your pick at that point. After February 5th, it should be all about the rookies and their further progress and development. Not about these vets keep playing 30 minutes every night. Before deadline, you could play these vets like that, but after
So
it, if you
so
keep a
sit
lot of these
down,
guys,
Mike,
you have to.
sit
You have to at that
MPJ
point.
down or slow him down a little bit.
Exactly. You
Put
have
him
to, or else,
on alternate
yeah,
games or whatever, and play
yeah.
Cam Thomas if you couldn't move him.
I think we would send him home if they don't trade him for anything. If you keep him on that team, there's no reason to, because you won't likely re-sign him. You'll just be screwing yourself
Well, he be.
over at that
I
point,
mean,
even
they
more
ain't
so.
winning with him, so it does. He ain't playing no D, right?
Yeah, but he can still score for you. And if you keep playing MPJ and not resting him, the Nets are going to win more bad games and hurt their odds further. Like some people now want them to be in the play-in. Some even dare say playoff. And it's like if we're in the
Nah, I
playoff,
don't
our pick is
want
15.
to. Nah,
If
I
we
don't
are in
want
the
to.
playoffs, our pick
I
is
don't.
15. Are people really
No, no,
jazzed
no.
up about
Well,
that?
well. Listen, we had teams that's been in close to the play-in and got number one picks for real, and it's more than
That's
once.
just a
I don't like
nightmare, though. In
nobody
this
sit
upcoming
there.
draft, that's a
I
nightmare.
don't like that word. It's an anomaly when it happens twice. I mean, come on, it ain't an anomaly at this point. It's like you giving it away to teams that's good. It's like you giving it to teams that's good. Look at San Antonio. They're a prime example. I
The
mean,
West should not get any more top talent. The West is already built on talent. It's crazy how many went to the West last year. All three of the top prospects went to the West last year. Konkanipa was the highest one that went to the East. You'd think this year a lot more Eastern teams like us would have a higher shot because a lot of the teams in the West, Kings, like imagine the Kings getting the number one pick with how horribly they've done the last 5 to 10 years with
yeah.
building any type of winning roster. Like that would just be a slap in the face to every team because like they've never done anything right over there. And for the Nets, we're actually trying somewhat, but even that, we're still failing at that. But at least the Nets are in the lottery right now. But six odds, we need to get away from the six odds. The six odds last 6 years has been a 6-9 pick. If we're in the fourth or fifth odds, I feel slightly better, Scott, because fourth or fifth odds have actually been decent for lottery teams. But six odds right now, or even higher, it's not going to look good for the Nets. Like we got to start changing that up a bit, and that starts with resting some of these vets. Like if you keep MBJ, rest them. Talk about an extension with them. That hey, if we want to keep you long term, we have to rest you because we got to protect our pick. Like they
Right.
have to do that at this point if they're going to keep him. But we have a lot of time until then to really consider all this. But there should be some deals happening soon. I'm hearing Anthony Davis. The Warriors might want him. The Hawks might want him. Now, if the Warriors want him, they might need to rope in a third team, and that's where the Brooklyn Nets could come in because we have cap space to facilitate a deal. So
I
it'd be
don't want
interesting to
no
see.
more number two picks though. I don't want no more number two picks. I really don't.
We might collect a few this deadline, Scott, with some vets. Some vets on short term
What do
deals.
you use them for? Like coins or something? I don't know. What are you getting out of
Like,
number two second round picks? I
You
don't
know
get
what's
it.
you know what's interesting? There was a team this past deadline that traded 4 seconds for a first. Actually, it was 4 seconds and a young player for a first. If you could actually group seconds together to maybe get a first round pick, no lottery pick whatsoever, but maybe an 18 to like 25 pick or something like that, or a 20 to 25, like that's something. You could turn second round picks
All
into a
right.
first
Okay.
if you can. So
I
like
mean,
there are ways to use the second round picks as opposed to just discarding them. So, but yeah, I agree. We're at 19. We're probably gonna be over 20 after this deadline. You're gonna have to use those second round picks eventually for maybe upgrade pieces. But here's another thing, Scott. The last few trade deadlines, a lot of teams have used a lot of seconds to facilitate deals for good role players. Like that might be a new part of the future of the NBA. Because, like you said, teams do not want to give up first round picks unless I'm going after a superstar or a close second. But even for role players right now, the value's gone down to seconds. That's actually where the Nets might have an advantage there. If they want to go after upgrades in the future to build around the young core, you have a lot of seconds to get a lot of vets that could fit this team. So that's actually not a bad thing either, but you have to cash them in eventually, is all I'm saying, if
yeah,
you collect all these seconds.
yeah. That's my whole thing. Is it at some point because we already got I don't know how many. We got so many. It's crazy.
Got 19.
See, what are we gonna do with 19 second round picks?
And we
What are
got
we
13
doing with?
first. We got
Oh,
13 first. And if you
yeah.
flip Claxton and MPJ, we might have 15 by the end of the season. Like, that's what OKC has right now. But you can have six drafted guys on this team, plus Clowney, that makes you seven. So, yeah, I think if the Nets do somehow trade Claxton and MPJ, you're set on the first. We have 10 tradable firsts. We could have 13 or 14 tradable firsts after this deadline potentially, which means you go after superstar whenever this team feels like it because we'll have the cap space to sign players to deals and eventually move those pieces for a big superstar. I think the Nets have the cap space and draft capital advantage. It's just what is the talent going to be? That's pretty much what we're all arguing about at this point, Scott, is
Yeah, yeah.
what's the actual talent going to be when we're ready to win? I just don't know if this current crop of vets are long term fits for this team. I think you have a fun
Well,
young
if you
core,
get rid of the
but you
vets,
need
we don't know. We don't know what picks or what we trading for. So we can't really speak on anything we don't have yet. But if you get rid of some people, you're gonna bring some people in. We don't
right,
know
and those
who.
could
We
be
don't know what that's coming in. We don't know that
right.
yet.
Right. It could be expiring contracts, but here's another thing. We could be going after maybe young prospect players that are making less than $5 million, but they're decent young players with untapped potential, like a Jet Howard, for instance, a Ron Holland. Those are the type of young players that Sean Marks should be targeting if he's moving any of these vets. Like if you can get a young player back for a vet on this team, that actually helps add to your young core that you're building right now. So that's another way of being strategic at this deadline. If you don't trade Clax or MPJ, you can still trade these other vets to maybe get a young player that's not playing a lot on a current team. But this team, we're looking for any type of pieces that make us younger but can make us stronger at the same time.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if we approach it from that lens as well. But Sean Marks
Yeah.
has to get active soon. Like I'm surprised nobody's being active right now. We kind of know where everybody is, and it's like people wait for that first team to make the first move. We
I
should be
think
having
that's
20
what it
phone calls
is.
right now.
Well,
Like we should be having
I
conversations
don't.
right
It probably is, but nobody's saying anything.
now.
I guess it ain't really, it ain't shaking until after the holidays. But
Yeah,
that being
yeah.
said, the game getting ready to start in 5 minutes, man. So where they can reach you at, John?
Good show, Scott, and keep wearing that hat. That might be a good omen for us. If you want to talk fun basketball, follow me on Twitter, everything BKNS John. The New Year's about to begin. Wish everybody happy holidays and a
Oh,
great new year for all involved. And the Nets definitely have a lot of decisions to make this upcoming January because that deadline is February 5th, which is less than 5 weeks away. So I did say we have time, but time is a ticking. And hopefully Sean Marks is out there pulling some moves off because we need to figure out who is the next Brooklyn Nets and protect that lottery pick. But if you ever want to talk fun basketball, everything BKNS John on Twitter. Shout out to all you
I
Brooklyn
just
Nation.
want to say hello to Javon Ship. Yo, what's up, man?
Hey,
Happy
Javon.
holidays. Anyway, yeah, the game getting ready to start in 5 minutes, man. So I'm gonna come back after the game, so you can check. I'll do after a pregame or post game show. All right, peace and love, everybody. Me and
Peace.
John is out.
Peace.